Welcome to Success Starts Within, the podcast for ambitious women who are ready to elevate their success, wealth, and confidence, and who are done with getting in their own way. I'm Kirsty, a subconscious and identity coach for women, and in this podcast, we're going to dive into the beliefs, blocks, and patterns that hold you back from being the woman you want to become, so that you can step into a life that feels abundant and alive. And my promise is that you're going to leave every episode feeling seen, inspired, and equipped with the tools to take your next steps towards the woman you're meant to be. So grab yourself a coffee or a glass of wine and let's get started. Hello and welcome to the first episode of Success Starts Within. This is a podcast that is going to help you stop getting in your own way. We're going to rewire your beliefs that are keeping you stuck, and I'm going to support you to build a business that you know that you're meant for. My name's Kirsty, and honestly, I'm so grateful that you're here with me for my very first episode. I am so excited to be launching this for you. This is not just another mindset podcast. I wanted to create a space for women who want more and who are finally ready to understand just why they haven't been able to make it happen for themselves yet. So this space is yours, and it's a place where you can take a breath of relief from holding it all together. You can drop the pressure and you can finally feel seen and are deeply understood by somebody that has been there and felt the same as you do. So let me start by saying something that might make you feel seen in a way that you haven't in a long time. If you've ever felt behind, if you've compared yourself to someone else online, if you've ever felt embarrassed that your business isn't taking off the way that you had hoped, or you feel ashamed for wanting more in your life, maybe if you fear failure and success at the same time, if you've ever thought, why can she do it and I can't? Then I want you to know that you are not alone. And this podcast, this entire movement that I'm creating is here for you to understand that you are not the problem. It's the way that you've been wired. It's your blueprint. But the good news is that it's not permanent, and we can change every part of our life if we commit to doing the work. So I wanted to start by sharing a little bit about who I am and why I really care so deeply about supporting and helping women. For a long time, I had huge dreams inside of me, dreams of running a massively successful business and helping women feel better about themselves. And I knew that I was meant for more, but I didn't know what that was. But the problem is I did not identify as somebody who was capable of running a business. And I didn't see myself as the woman that I needed to be. I told myself constantly that I wasn't clever enough. I wasn't confident. I mean, I was confident in my personal life, but in my career and my professional life, I was completely the opposite, like the polar opposite. It was crazy. I would tell myself as well that I wasn't qualified enough. And one of the biggest things I would always say is that I wasn't business minded. So I thought that I was incapable of having this huge business because I didn't know how to run it. I didn't know the ins and outs of having a business. So what happened was that it made me smaller than every woman that I admired. And there was especially one friend of mine who had built this amazing, successful business. And I'm going to be real with you. I did become obsessed with her Instagram. And it wasn't because I wanted to copy her, because we're in completely different industries. It was just more because every post that she put out felt like a reminder of who I wasn't. And every client, every sale, every collaboration that she shared, it felt like it was a spotlight on my insecurities. And so I massively picked myself apart. I would tell myself stories about what she had that I didn't, and I convinced myself that she was special and that I wasn't. And I would look on her Instagram first thing in the morning. Sorry, I'm laughing because I look back now and I just think this was just so damaging to who I was back then and how much it really did set me back on my journey, because I would look at her Instagram first thing in the morning and just feel like complete crap. And then things would pop up throughout the day and it would make me feel even worse. So I got stuck in this loop of comparing, jealousy, shame, and self-doubt. And the thing is, right, is that none of it was really about her. It was all about me and the identity that I believed I had. So one day I thought, I've had enough of this spiraling now. I need to stop. And I actually looked at what I was feeling. So I really did some digging deep, and I wrote a list of all the things that she had that I wanted, all the things that were triggering me and making me feel jealous and upset. And then I asked myself one question that massively shifted everything for me. I asked myself, what is actually stopping me from having this too? And the answer surprised me. And it really did shock me, because the answer was nothing. Like, there was absolutely nothing that was stopping me from having everything that she had. The only limitation that I had was the one that I was placing on myself. And that was a huge wake-up call, a huge, uncomfortable, necessary wake-up call. Because the truth was, I could learn the skills. I could learn how to run a business. The information, there's a wealth of information online. There's ChatGPT. I could grow my confidence. I could become the woman that I needed to be. And actually, there was nothing magical about her. She had simply just taken the risk. She had backed herself, and she had taken the leap to set up her own business. And it had been a success. But for me, I wasn't backing myself. And so that was the moment that started to change everything. And I knew that I had to start working on myself. So I started to listen to podcasts for the first time and came across one about the law of attraction. And I listened to that podcast, and it opened a door that I didn't even know existed and took me into the world of self-development. I learned about healing, identity work, subconscious beliefs, inner child work, nervous system healing, you name it, like so much stuff. And I finally understood why I thought, felt, and behaved the way that I did. And this was a huge breakthrough, because I immediately started to feel different. And I took it off of me and put it more on the conditioning that I had had, and actually saw that it wasn't my fault at all. And so through this journey, and I'm still on this journey, I don't think you ever do stop when you get on the self-development train, but I learned a heck of a lot about myself. And then I started to reflect on my life. And in my 20s, I coped with a lot of self-sabotage. Like, I was the party girl. I was distracting myself all the time. I was drinking. I was going out. I was never alone. I always had to be with people. And then in my motherhood era, which I'm still in, but in those early years, I did feel lots of guilt around being a mum and wanting to have more, sometimes wanted to have space. I felt guilt for dreaming of a business that I really wanted to have, but I didn't know how to start. And a lot of the time, I felt like a failure before I'd even tried. And I didn't feel like a good enough mum. I didn't feel like I was a capable woman. And I was stuck between having these dreams, but then telling myself that I wasn't somebody that could have it. So this podcast led me to books. I enrolled a coach. I journaled. I healed. I went to therapy. And I discovered something huge, that actually there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. Like, I wasn't incapable. I wasn't unworthy. I just had unhealed beliefs and outdated identity that had been running my entire life. And once I understood that, I was able to start making a change. And that is kind of what brought me onto this podcast, is that I want to use all of the tools, the experiences, everything that I have used to teach you guys to start getting rid of those outdated beliefs and start to create ones that are going to support the woman that you want to become. Because we are running on old stories. We are running on outdated information. But now we are grown-ass women. Like, we need something that is a lot more empowering. So this podcast is a place for you guys to go really, really deep. And I want you to have this space to look at yourself and how you think, feel, and behave in a way that is without any judgment. And we are going to be shedding limiting beliefs that no longer support you. And this is a place where you are going to heal the stories that keep you playing small. And we are going to get rid of that old emotional baggage that has weighed you down for so many years. And it matters because you matter and you deserve to feel good in your life. You deserve to feel worthy of success, to believe in your abilities, and to create the business and life that you dream about. So this is not just a podcast. This is a movement, and this is a place of community. I am bringing women together so that they feel safe to expand. And I am honestly so excited to guide you through this journey of transformation. And I want you to go through this evolution like I have been through, and I will continue to keep going through. So what you can expect from every episode is to feel seen, to understand why you're holding yourself back, to learn how to upgrade your identity. We're going to shift your beliefs about money, success, visibility, self-worth, and everything else that gets in our way. I'm going to give you some tools to help you show up confidently and to feel supported in becoming the businesswoman that you want to be. So we're going to be auditing those annoying little pesky beliefs. We're going to be challenging your inner critic, which, by the way, mine is called Christy, but I'll cover that in another episode. And we're going to upgrade every thought pattern, every behavior, every habit that keeps you playing small, because success doesn't just start when you launch something. It starts when you become someone who believes that she can. So inside this podcast, we're going to step into a new identity, one where you trust yourself, where you show up confidently online, where you stop bloody comparing yourself to everybody else, and where you start to feel worthy and stop apologizing for wanting more. Because when you feel that success is possible for you, then everything will start to change. And when we dig into these beliefs and all of the thoughts that you carry, a lot of the time, once we start peeling away the layers, at the core of everything is worthiness. And so many women are carrying old wounds and words that were said to them as children, or experiences that made them not feel good enough. And these stories embed themselves in our subconscious minds and create the person that we are today. And the problem is that these stories put restrictions on what we allow ourselves to do, which is why if you've been sitting on an idea for quite some time now and not implementing it, then it could be because your subconscious and your nervous system are finding it a threat and are doing everything that it can to stop you from accomplishing it. So I'm going to teach you how to get over all of that in these podcasts. And I'm going to help you to peel away everything. Like, we are upgrading you in every single area, because you have never been unworthy. You were just conditioned to believe you were. And now it's time to unlearn everything that you've learned and relearn it all. So we're going back to school, ladies, and we are going to upgrade everything. And this is what this podcast is about. It's about healing, becoming, growing, expanding, reclaiming, stepping into your full potential. And I cannot wait to guide you through this. And in episode 2, this is where the real work is going to start to begin. We're going to start with the thing that stops more women than anything else: fear of judgment, especially from people you know, which was my number one block for so long. And the thing is, it stopped me achieving so much for so many years. And now I've worked through it, I cannot tell you how much lighter I feel knowing that I can just show up and do what I want to do and not care about other people's opinions. But it took work, and we're going to cover that in episode 2. So if you have ever feared posting, or you don't like launching or speaking or even just talking about yourself, then this next episode is definitely going to hit home in a big way. So thank you so much for being here with me for this first episode. Thank you for choosing yourself. Well done for putting yourself first and giving yourself some time to listen to this. And thank you for stepping into this journey of becoming the woman you're meant to be. Because remember, success starts within. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to Success Starts Within. I hope you're leaving today feeling inspired, grounded, and one step closer to the woman you're becoming. And always remember, success starts within. I'll see you in the next episode.